As I already mentioned yesterday, I'm working at the moment on a project that I can't share with you. So let's talk about equipment. That's something that gets us all excited. So this is my studio. As you can see, I don't have that much equipment, but it's all you need to make electronic music. And this right here is another letter from the GEMA. They are taking care of my publishing rights. Let's see how much money I get this time. The last time it was something like €2.22 or 25. So it can't be less than last time. I don't even understand it, but all of the numbers on here are between 50 cents and €4.84, so I don't care. To make music, you of course need a computer. I'm using my MacBook. It's the late 2013 version with 16 GB of RAM and a dual core processor with I think 2.7 GHz, but all of this doesn't matter. With almost any computer that you can buy right now, you can make music. The laptop is quite expensive, but you could get one of these. That's an old G5 for maybe 400 or 500 euros, and it's really good to make music. You don't really need a super powerful computer. I just always buy the most powerful one to have the longest time without switching to a new one. Every time you switch, you have to set up all of the third-party plugins again, which is quite annoying, and they are registered to the computer, so most of them you can only use on 3 to 5 machines. So after switching 3 times your computer, you might not be able to use the very expensive plugin anymore that you bought without having to call the support, resetting everything. So it's a big mess, so I just avoid switching my computer as much as possible. The next essential thing you will need is a DAW. That's a digital audio workstation. It's basically just a program where you can edit audio and media with and install third-party plugins and also use native plugins. If you're using a Mac, I can just recommend you to start out with GarageBand. It's for free. If you're already a bit advanced, buy Logic. It's just 200 euros and it has everything you need to make music. If you're on a Windows, Cubase is very similar. Ableton runs on both systems. I think Cubase is also now running on Macs. I'm not sure about that. There's also Fruity Loops, which is now really great with the newest update. Pro Tools is more for bigger studios and recording, and Reason is a bit gimmicky, but it's also kind of nice. That's actually the program I started with. I used it maybe for the first 2-3 months, and then I got a bit annoyed by it because you're quite limited. I don't know, it doesn't really feel like the most professional software, but I know a lot of people that use it to make amazing tracks. So at the end, it doesn't matter a whole lot. Just choose a program, learn it, and stick to it. Of course, you need speakers. They have to be special studio monitors, as these two. They are called Yamaha HS80M. I bought them a couple of years ago for I think 250 a piece. If you get yourself studio speakers, buy some that are above 150 a piece and no more than 300-400, because above that level you're just wasting your money. I will explain you later why when I get to the room acoustic point. So if you have a computer, a DAW and speakers, you can already start making music. You should get familiar with the program, and the next thing you should buy really depends on what kind of music you're making. If you're a singer and songwriter, I would recommend you to get a microphone like this. It's the AKG 220 Perception. It's something like 150-200 euros. And of course a sound card. This is my sound card. It has this nice volume knob, and you have 2 inputs, 2 outputs. It's from Apogee and called Duet. And as you can see, I already have it for quite a long time. If you're a producer that is working a lot in the box and is using samples and synthesizer to make tracks, I would recommend first to get yourself a keyboard to be able to play these sounds. I have here a full-size 88 keys keyboard with weighted keys, which is really nice to play on it, but it doesn't have any knobs and buttons to play around with the synth sounds. This one I think is around 400 or 500 euros. It's quite heavy, but you can get them already for 50 euros just to have something to play with. If you don't have the money, you could also use the one that is provided with the keyboard of the computer. You can just access it within Logic and play the keys. That's definitely not the easiest way to do it, but it's something you always have with you with your computer. You can play simple chords, simple melodies. You just have later to correct all of it in the piano roll and also draw in the velocities, because it of course can't detect it. As soon as you've made your first couple of tracks, I would recommend you to get some of the third-party plugins. You need definitely not all of them, this will just confuse you. Get some of them that are specialized in your kind of music. For example, if you're doing EDM music, go with the Nexus from Vengeance. It has a lot of preset sounds that are typical for EDM music. If you're doing house, deep house, go maybe with the Contact library. It has a lot of sampled bass, piano and string sounds that really fit to the style. If you're doing something more experimental or dubstep, go with the Reactor plugin by Native. If you record a lot and edit vocals, go with some of the Wave plugins. There are really a lot of great plugins out there. Most of them you can try for free for 30 days. You should definitely do that and then decide if you really need it. If you're interested in my 10 favorite plugins, I've made a special video about it that I will link at the end of this one. I'm all done with work for today. This new project already sounds amazing, can't wait to share it with you. But now let's get back to topic. So before you spend any money on fancy outboard gear, controllers, really expensive speakers or plugins that you actually don't need, you really have to fix your room acoustics. Room acoustic is so important, a lot of people underestimate it. But I think you can agree with me that if you buy a fancy outboard compressor, it totally makes sense to sit in a room where you can actually hear the difference it is making to a cheap one. It's so important. I've actually spent most of my money in treating this room. I will make a special video about it tomorrow, but now it's time to head back home. Actually, you don't need the sunglasses. Room acoustics is also the reason why you should never buy really expensive speakers. In a shitty room, you're just wasting your money. Before you spend 1,000 euros on speakers, you can plan to spend 2 to 4 times more on your acoustics. Done with the dinner. Now it's time to hang out with Achim. I got his present. His birthday was already a month ago almost. I'm feeling a bit bad, but it's an amazing present. Es hat ein bisschen gedauert. Und du kriegst noch eine Lederhose. Are you leaving tomorrow?
Yes.
Achim is leaving tomorrow to the Oktoberfest. He's getting the pants. They're actually not mine. They're also not his. They're from Miles. So Miles, thanks a lot.
Eine Seifenblasenmaschine, man. Correct.
Achim requested this.
Something else?
Yeah. This is boring.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
Pusterfix. So next up, probably as always, a bit of FIFA. I forgot something. This is part of the pants for the Oktoberfest. The evening was a lot of fun with the guys. FIFA 17 is amazing. We used Achim's present. It's getting snapped. Inside, this is so much fun.
Whoa.
And then outside, it made quite a lot of mess. Piero showed me his TVs. 1, 2, 3. Why do you have 3 TVs?
Because we have 3 PlayStation.
Okay, if you have 3 PlayStation, you need 3 TVs. Sure. Yeah. So all in all, just a fun evening. This dress scared me quite a lot when I entered the room. I thought there is somebody standing, but Vanessa's just using it to hang her dress for a wedding tomorrow she's invited to, or on, no, it's on tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow, it's already past midnight, so I'm a bit confused. Nevertheless, I have one more thing to say about buying equipment. If you buy any outboard gear, really think about if you really need it, because most producers that I know, they buy stuff and actually never use it to make music, and then it's just sitting in the studio collecting a lot of dust, and it's almost only there to impress customers coming to their studio. So really think if you want to spend that music on gear you're not using, or spend the money on promoting your music and maybe advance with it, than just having something standing in your studio.
Der oben klebt dann voll mit Waschmittel, ey, fuck. Wir ziehen übers Dach und sammeln sich jetzt bei den Leuten vorm Fenster.